When considering a career, we are often asked, what are you passionate about? What do you enjoy doing? Just choose that one thing as the main path, and you can dedicate yourself for the rest of your life. This is a challenge for many because we all enjoy doing more than just one thing. There are many different fields that we would love to pursue. Ozelle Martin is one such person who has several passions that I'm not even going to say good, she's excellent at. She's a trademark attorney by profession. She offers empowering counsel and powerful legal strategies to entertainers and athletes in this capacity. She's also the co leader of the four-peat band of the year, Ultra Carnival, the band that promises an intimate and unforgettable first class, all inclusive mass experience. We have heard the reviews and they never disappoint. She's also the owner of Glittering Rain Pageant Coaching and Counseling Agency. Her most recent client is the reigning Sugar Mass 50 National Carnival Queen, Miss Nikira Nichols. So I think that was a mouthful. And there's much more to her. Please join us as we welcome the multi-potentiality Miss Ozelle Martin to Good Morning SKN. Hi, Ozelle.
Hi.
Hi, Mimi. Hi, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to see you.
Good to see you as well.
So you are actively involved in all of these different fields. Let's tackle them one at a time. First, what interested you in law?
Um, hmm. I always had a love for the law. I just always found the law intriguing. It really was about finding which area of law was going to be of most interest to me. And because I really loved marketing and branding from the creative side, I knew that I would also like it from the legal side. And that's why I dived into intellectual property law.
Mm.
Well, speaking of intellectual property law, you hold a doctorate degree in intellectual property law. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
The question that I have in relation to that is, where do you find the time to devote to your educational pursuits amid everything else that you've done?
Well, I guess my educational pursuits are over because I graduated like 7 years ago. But where do I find the time? I guess I know that I want to do it. And so it's really about managing your time, waking up early, and sometimes
Going to
being up
bed
late
very late.
to get everything that you want to do. Um, when you're passionate about so many things, I feel like we have one life. We shouldn't feel confined to one particular task or even a particular career. Like I know some people who are like both a doctor and a lawyer, you know what I mean? Like they have a JD and an MD. So you should never feel confined to like one particular task. Whatever you want to do, you go ahead and pursue it there. Everybody says there are 24 hours in a day. There is more than enough time and you can still get ample amount of rest.
Right. So, I mean, as a lawyer, an aspiring lawyer, I mean, when you were in school, did you face any challenges coming from a small island?
Well, yes. People have this saying that links run things.
Yes, and
Coming
they
from
do.
small, not having my family or immediate family in the United States, I felt as if I had to do everything on my own, put myself out there because I did not have anyone to connect me to anyone, just form my own connections. And that's fine. I don't feel entitled like anybody needs to do that for me. But it was just that much harder because you didn't have those pre-made connections that was fostered by like a family member or a friend. I didn't even have a mentor. And so that is why it's so important for me to even mentor prospective, in particular, Black women attorneys, because I know how difficult it was when you did not have a mentor. You didn't have someone to show you the ropes to help you navigate a profession that is dominated by, let's be real, white men and women. Black women only make up about 1.73%. That is 1.73% of all attorneys in the United States. So we are grossly outnumbered. So again, that's another uphill battle.
So So can you tell us like what exactly is a trademark attorney?
A trademark attorney is attorney that prosecutes, enforce, and protects trademarks. What does the prosecution of trademarks mean? It's not really similar to criminal prosecution. It is more so ensuring that a trademark that is selected by a client is distinctive and also available for use. And that might sound easy, but we have what you call the spectrum of distinctiveness to ensure that a trademark even qualifies for use. We want to make sure that it is unique and distinctive. And so that's basically what a trademark attorney does: enforces, prosecutes, and protects trademarks.
Let's
And of
talk.
course, a trademark is a brand's unique identifier. So any way in which you can identify a brand in the marketplace, for example, when you see the Nike check symbol, or you see the logo, or which is the logo, sorry, or you see the brand name, any way in which you can identify a brand in the marketplace, that's their trademark.
All right, so let's talk briefly about Essence Magazine and
Yes.
the legal issue that concerned Michael B. Jordan naming his rum Juve. Can you explain the matter?
Okay, so Michael B. Jordan named his rum Juve from, a U.S. law standpoint. There's nothing that prevents him from doing that because obviously it met the requirements for distinctiveness, and it was available for use in connection with a rum brand. However, Caribbean people felt as if he was misappropriating the name because he's not from the Caribbean. And while, yeah, maybe I could see why it would be controversial, and it's so important to have an attorney with a holistic viewpoint on your team, because while certain trademarks may be legally permissible, there may be some issues ethically. And I think that's what happened in his case. Now, recently I followed up on the trademark application, and I'm still wondering if the application was even connected with him, because he made a public relations a statement that was he issued a statement on his social media channels and also through his attorney, where he said he was abandoning the name Juve for the brand, but the trademark is still alive, and whoever filed the trademark is still trying to keep it alive.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
I'm certain we'll check back in with
Yes.
you as you follow up with that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good name. I mean, I understood the Caribbean people's feelings towards the word, but I thought it was a good name. Anyways, we'll see
I
how
also
that goes.
mentioned the importance of Caribbean or West Indian Americans in being proactive in protecting their brands as well, because we have so many Juve formative brands in the United States that are unprotected. And so why would we be so reactive? No, that someone else did it. Sorry. So I think it's so important for us as West Indian Americans to also be proactive in the protections of our brands that are based in the United States.
But how did you become involved enough to go and create a mass band?
Right. So the mass band is the brainchild of my friend and I, Natasha Berridge. And yes, initially, we wanted to play mass in St. Kitts, but we felt as if the experience that we wanted was quite there as yet. So it was really about being the change that you wanted to see. And we knew that other persons wanted the same experience that we were going to present, which would involve like presenting bodysuits for all body types. And even if it's not for body types, for just whatever you feel like wearing. Like if you don't want to have a two-piece on, you shouldn't be forced to, because that's all that's available. So we wanted to also create a band that was inclusive. And so, as I said, we were just trying to be the change that we wanted to see.
Well, congratulations on that, because not only are you the change, you are definitely seen. Visibility, Ultra, I think everyone knows that name.
Thank you.
All right, so we're delving into now your ownership of the Glittering Rain pageant coaching and consulting agency. And again,
Yes.
the basic question here is, where did your interest come from and what motivated you to take it to that level?
Right. You know, I've been exposed to pageantry since I was a child. My mother and my aunt were pageant coaches. And I always had the eye for detail, even as a child, things that they won't see. I would be like, hey, did you see this? And I realized that they valued my opinion. Regardless of if I was 7 or 8, my opinions were never disregarded. So because I was always empowered, from that standpoint by my mother and my aunt. And eventually I got really passionate about it because just in general, I'm passionate about the performing arts. I liked certain things like speech writing. I love fashion. And so even as a child, it was like an incentive for finishing my homework on time and with great accuracy. Once I was able to finish my homework on time, I knew that I would be able to accompany my mother to pageant practice. And it was just I don't have a fancy story of how I fell in love. I just think it was like natural affinity.